You guys know that over in Seattle, there is a city council member named Kshama Sawant, and she's awesome. Big fan of hers. She's an open socialist. She's a member of, I believe, the Socialist Alternative, and she's part of city council. She's a big reason why the Fight for 15 was amplified nationwide because of her and her action, and then the other members of city council who were with her. You know, she wasn't working alone, but she was a big prominent figure in that. Which, by the way, side PSA, for those of you who want to get involved on the electoral politics level, that's awesome. Please consider local seats. I see so many brilliant people that it would be awesome if they were able to infiltrate our politics, and I'm with them 110%. And I have as many of them as I can on my show to try to help out as much as I can. Not that I'm some huge groundbreaking platform, but I try to help out as much as I can. But everybody always wants to run for Congress and Senate, and that's great. But man, consider consider city council, consider mayor, consider school board. And there's a lot you can do with that. Kshama Sawant is a prime example of that. You have a lot of power on a city council. You really do. Because if you start doing things in your backyard, hey, we have this big information highway known as the internet, where if you're doing something amazing in your backyard, that's going to spread. That idea is going to spread. So anyway, but Amazon didn't like Kshama Sawant very much. Why? Because she also was a big proponent of a tax where some of the biggest corporations housed in Seattle would have had to pay a tax, and it was a very reasonable tax. It wasn't unreasonable at all, and it was a very reasonable tax to help out with homelessness. Almost all of the corporations that would have had to pay this tax were okay with it. Who wasn't okay with it? Amazon. Amazon wasn't. And Jeff Bezos made a big stink about it, and he eventually got what he wanted. He eventually persuaded the mayor and everyone involved to kind of just drop it. I mean, not everyone, but he got enough people on his side that they kind of let it go. So what did he do after that? Well, he put over $1 million, which for him, that's nothing. But in a local campaign, that's a lot of money. For Jeff Bezos, that's like throwing $10 at something. That's like saying, hey, screw you, here's $10 against you. But he put over, I believe it was $1.5 million. He put that into Kshama Sawant's opponent and to try to get Kshama Sawant off of the city council. And he failed. It was actually looking kind of bad, but then when they counted the mail-in ballots, she won. And she's still there. So he failed. But something's happening now. Seattle takes aim at Amazon over political spending. So let's see what's going on now. The Seattle City Council is scheduled to vote Monday on new campaign finance restrictions that will prevent companies like Amazon from spending money on city elections. Let's hope this passes, baby. Let's hope this passes. And this is from today, so they're voting this coming Monday. The move comes just months after the tech giant, which is headquartered in Seattle, spent millions trying to oust incumbents who wanted to increase its taxes. Exactly what we just talked about. They spent millions to try to get rid of Kshama Sawant because she wanted them to pay a tax to help homelessness. The city council committee voted Wednesday to advance a bill that would prohibit corporations from contributing to candidates or political action committees spending on local elections if foreign investors own a substantial stake in those companies. Okay. The legislation passed on a 6-0 vote, making it all but certain that the measure would pass through the full 9-member council. What we are doing here is addressing corruption and the appearance and perception of corruption in our elections, and that is a worthy challenge to take up as a city council, said Lorena Gonzalez, the city council president. All right. So let's hope this passes. And I think, that part about foreign companies, I'm not quite sure like what all that's in reference to. I think this should just go to all corporations in general. Obviously Amazon would be involved in this because they do have, plenty of interest all around the world. But I think any corporation in general, you should ban them from contributing to local elections. Because despite what Mitt Romney will tell you, corporations are not people. So good for Seattle, good for the city council. I sincerely hope this passes on Monday, and the Seattle City Council is a much better place with Kshama Sawant on it. All right, cool. Thank you for sharing that, Jack. I appreciate it very much. That was a cool story. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting on